example. My favorite way of curing depression was using a wall socket and a wristwatch. I'll show you, this is so cool. So, I'll draw a wall socket here, just for illustration. And I've only put 2 prongs because this isn't grounded. I am a comic genius. So, she's always afraid she's going to blow a clot through her heart. She's got an artificial aortic valve, all these different problems. She got her on a couple of blood thinners. And in order to go to the dentist to have her teeth cleaned, she'd have to go off the blood thinners for a couple of weeks first, or just having her teeth cleaned would cause uncontrollable bleeding. She'd wind up in the emergency ward. Now this made her very anxious. Then the anxiety turned into depression. She got depressed about being anxious. And then she got really sad about how depressed she was getting, which of course made her even more depressed about how anxious and sad. And you're like, when I met her, she was in a nosedive. Her doctor sent her to me. So she comes in, she says, "I'm depressed all the time." I said, "That's fantastic." She went, "What?" I said, "It's hard to be depressed all the time. That's an accomplishment. You're good at this." She went, "Yes, I am." She's getting proud of her depression. I begin doing a pattern interrupt. I begin doing very bizarre behavior that has no meaning in a psychotherapeutic context. It throws people off. My favorite, of course, being smelling underneath my watch. So, she's talking about this horrendous stuff that has ruined her life and made it a living hell. I don't care what I have to do for her to feel better. I'll do backflips if I have to. So she's telling me about all this horrible stuff, and in the middle of it, I seemingly get distracted and go, yeah. She's horrified. And she's, "What did you just do?" I act like a kid caught with pornography. I hide the watch. Nothing. She said, "You're smelling underneath your watch." One of the worst words in the English language is the word try. I absolutely despise this word. Because trying implies failing. It's built into it. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And fail, but try and fail. But he really tried and he failed. Watch out for try. It's a terrible word. So remember I said don't affects the critical faculty in a very specific way as far as deletion goes. Can't affect your brain in another way altogether. This one will undo your own behavior. The old adage is whether you say you can or you can't, you're right. I mean, lying to yourself is still lying. You don't want to put on skis for the first time in your life. And you go to Whistler, BC, and you're really positive, and you've got the right mental attitude, and you find the scariest hill because it's got the most, skulls on the diagram, and the staff goes out every morning with a file, and they sharpen all the rocks just to make it more exciting, and you realize when you get there, and your first time on skis, you are the only person on that hill, which is essentially a vertical drop, and you stand there, but you're positive, and you've got the right mental attitude, and you say, "I can ski," and launch yourself into space. You'll discover you can die because lying to yourself is still lying. This is not meant to be used in a loving relationship. Real clear. Mike Mandel Enterprises and Brain Software accept no responsibility for the use or misuse of any of these techniques, no matter how well you do them. You don't want this to be the sort of thing, "Honey, can we go to my mother's house on Sunday?" "I know how you feel. I lie here and drink beer all night." Well, that's all you do now since you're at that thing, engineering. "You're right, and I'm having another one now." "Well, honey, you're becoming a boring slob drinking 2 beers. That's quite true. And 3 makes it even worse, doesn't it? Apply the techniques, use them. And may I say that of all the groups I've ever had occasion to speak to, you are absolutely, without a doubt, the most recent. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we have about 5 minutes for questions if there are any. Right at the very front. Thank you.